Good morning, students. Today we will continue the topic which we have started two lectures before. In that, we will continue that topic drug distribution to outpatient. So, in that, no medicaments should be issued without the prescription. So, whatever drugs we will give to the patients, so it should not be given without any prescriptions. After the issue has been made, the quantities supplied must be recorded. So whatever drug we are giving to the patient, it must be recorded into the inventory regular basis. Medicines are given to the outpatients from the pharmacy situated in the outpatient block. So there is specific block for this outpatient from where the drugs can be given to those patients. Now dispensing of controlled drugs. Now here I will highlight some drugs which you should know. What are the drugs comes under the category of controlled drugs. So there is no rule has been developed by the government. So it is a rule for controlled drugs Act for Controlled Drugs 1970, in which they have categorized several schedules. There are total 5 schedules. So these schedules contains various drugs, various narcotics and psychotropic drugs, habit-forming drugs, and this act was specially developed for the people who are able to produce habit-forming drugs. The peoples who becomes the addict for those drugs, the drugs which are we are taking for the various therapies, but they are taking is only for their habits. And in India also it becomes very tragic. The people are taking those drugs for only as a well-being, for their pleasure purpose. And in foreign countries it is very common, but in India now it is emerging. There was one movie, Urta Punjab. I think you might be aware of this. So it was basically on the new generations which are moving towards on this unethical drug use. So for that there was 5 schedules are there. Especially these drugs are also called as recreational drugs. Students, try to note down this. What is recreational drugs? These are the drugs which we are using for 3 purposes. In that first purpose is to produce calmness, to produce the peaceful into your mind. Second drug, these are drugs which can be used to increase the energy, to refresh yourself. And third type of drug, they are the hallucinogens. Now in first category, the drugs which you are using for the calmness, peacefulness, so these drugs are able to produce calm effect into your brain, and they will reduce all the anxiety, all the worries, all the tensions, all the pressure, all the fear from your mind, and they will keep you very calm. So these drugs are used for producing calmness or as a tranquilizer. After that, next class is in which we are using the drugs for stimulation purpose. Means they are falsely pretending that they will produce the very energetic sensation. They are increasing the false perception into your mind, and due to which the mood will be elevate. There is a false feeling of well-being is there. It is also called as euphoria. So like that feeling will develop due to these drugs. And the third category is hallucinogens. So these drugs are producing false sense of perceptions. They are producing the they are taking yourself into the another world. It is called hallucinogens, and they are developing the false perception, false feeling, false belief, mood changing. So these are the drugs, and more or less one or more drugs are having produced same effect or more effects. That depends on the drugs, which drugs you are using. If you will see the category of these drugs, we will see later on there are 5 categories, 5 schedules are there. Now, dispensing of control drugs. So, the drugs which we should make their control for dispensing, for use, for reach to the patients. So that's why they are called as control drugs. So hospital control procedure. So how hospital is controlling those drugs which reaching to the patients. So responsibility of controlled substances in the hospital. So there are responsibility of the stakeholder, who is the owner, who is the administer body of that hospital. It's his responsibility to control these substances, where it should go, how much quantity it is there. So he need to be always watch on these controlled substances. Ordering ward stock of the controlled substances from pharmacy. So how much drug is available and how much you have to order, how much you have to give that stock to the ward. So it can be controlled. And there is one requisition that how much drug you should keep, how much drug you should give to the hospitals, and how much you should give to the specific ward for its use. Now, doctors orders for administration of control drug. So, doctors will give the order, will give the prescriptions for that specific purpose for specific patients to treat that patients. Responsibility of controlled substances. So there are n number of the list. If you'll see, it is more than 200-300 drugs are there which has been listed into these controlled substances. The drugs may be from the various sources, like narcotic drugs are there, anabolic steroids are there, the drugs from ganja, the drugs from the various analogs of morphine, like that. So various drugs are comes under this category. The administrative head of the hospital is responsible for proper safeguarding, means protection of those drugs, protection of their use, protection of their dispensing, their purchasing. So it is called safeguard, means he must protect the traveling of that drug from the company to the hospitals, how much it is coming and how much it is utilizing. So he should control all this procedure, and the handling and control substances within the hospitals. They are handling how much drug you are giving to the ward boy, to the nursing staff, how they are using, how much they are giving, whether they are maintaining the inventory or not. So that all things we should control. Whether the ward boy, they are itself they are taking that drug by their own use as a drug abuse. So we should keep watch on these things. Ordering ward stock of the controlled substances from the pharmacy. A requisition. What is requisition? Requisition is nothing but the, it is a legal tender. Requisition is nothing but the legal order of the specific drugs that you need to be used, need to be control, you need to be store, you need to be dispense, need to be transfer. So all the rules, it is your hand that what you have to do. So the rule has been made by the government, it is a legal document. So for you, the authority can be given by the government, legal authority, for to the hospitals for use of that drug. Like you can see in pharmacy colleges or in pharmaceutical industries, for alcohol also there is specific requisition. So it is a requisition, it is a legal document which can be offered by government, by which by control use of that drug. So in pharmacy college also you cannot purchase unethical or large amount of alcohol. So whatever amount it is required for preparation of that medicaments, only that much. And you should maintain the register that how much quantity you are taking this year, how much taken last year, how much you are using for medicaments, how much stock is remained to you. So same thing you have to control into industry also. So it is like that. And also you cannot make production of those typical drugs. Even you cannot do production of their plants, that that poppy plants in your farm also. So there is narcotics and psychotropic law to control these things. So a requisition for ward stock control substances is completed by insertion a check mark opposite the name. So which drug you will get or you want to get or you have to place order. So you have to make a check mark opposite the name of that drug and strength from the control substance desire, and whatever strength you want, whatever quantities of drug you want, that you need to be check, you need to be ensure that how much it is required for your patients, how many patients you have, or how much quantity you have purchased in last year. So by analyzing whole data, you will give the order, you will place the order. So before any new control substances is issued to a ward, so whatever new substance you will issue, before that you need to be ensure all these things, all these parameters. Now requisition form, how will fill that requisition form, it can be mentioned here. So in that, at the top, hospital's names, here is Vignan Hospital Pharmacy. After that, ward number, code number. After that, date, on which date you have to get. Number of tablet capsule 20, 50, whatever it may be. Check atom needed. So here it is checklist. So what is the name of drug? It is mentioned here. It will be codeine sulfate, morphine or morphine sulfate, ampules or phenobarbital, whatever drugs they are, after their pricing. So in this fashion, you have to maintain this requisition form. Now, doctors orders for administration of control drugs. So doctor will give orders for these control drugs. The following information must appear on the doctor's control drug order sheet. Means doctor had to ensure this format, that he should maintain this format. He should fill the information of that drug into this format. In that, drug need to be mentioned, patient's full name, patient's hospital number, of that specific description of the drug order and strength. So for which description it can be given, it is tablet form or elixir form, any syrup form, and its strength. So how much milligram of drug. If you will see, normally the drug like LSD or drug like morphine, that 90 microgram may also sufficient to produce its effects. So whatever 90, whatever milligram of drug you are giving, the strength is also mentioned. According to their strength, it can come into the category or schedule of that drug. So here, and amount to be given. So whatever amount you are giving, it is 2, 3, 10. So that amount need to be mentioned here. It is totally depends on the doctor. It is comes under the responsibility of doctor. Means he is having the authority that who to whom and how much and which drug he need to be prescribed. Prescriptions. In dispensing of controlled substances, the following requirements should be with prescriptions. So these are the requirements you need to fulfill during your preparation of prescriptions. Except when dispensed, when you are dispensed, so you should accept when you are dispensed. After that, drug may be dispensed on oral prescription in an emergency situation. So when drug are prescribed on the oral prescription only in an emergency situations. Now prescription shall be retained in conformity with the requirement of this law. So that's why in last lecture also I have mentioned that you must have one copy of prescription with you to maintain the record, maintain the conformity that really actually the patient was required that drug or not. So you must have the proper evidence to it is a requirement of that specific law of that control act of control substances 1970. No prescriptions for controlled substances in Schedule 2 may be refilled. Means no any prescription should be given for the Schedule 2 drugs. There are various schedules for these drugs. So students, please concentrate here what schedules I am telling, and if it is possible, note it down. There is first schedule. In that first schedule, the drugs like heroin or LSD, those drugs comes. These are highly habit forming and abuse drugs. They may develop the addiction. That's why, according to that act, we cannot prescribe those drugs in hospitals. We cannot prescribe. The drug has been banned completely. The drugs like heroin, as you know, it can be obtained from the plant poppy, and it is a white to brown powder, crystalline powder is there. It is sticky substances, and if you are taking, it can be taken by orally, or you can inhale, you can aspirate these drugs, and it can produce an action within 1 to 2 hours, and it will stay in your body for 5 to 6 hours, and it will to produce the hallucination, it will produce the euphoria like condition, false feeling of well-being. Heroin, that's why in at the first time at the war, in war condition it has been used for the first time in us. In us army they are used because these drugs were producing the hallucination, and this hallucination was one of the thing which required to do the war, because whatever pain they are having, whatever problems, whatever irritable, or whatever the restlessness they are having, to avoid, to counterbalance them, they were using these drugs. But after that it become habit. If you see in 2015, there was 1.5 million people have taken these drugs. Out of them, near about 1 lakh people have lost their life due to this heroin. So it is very habit forming drug, and if you see, the percentage is very high in US nowadays, in Asian country also, in African country also. So lots of people are taking these drugs only for well-being. After that, LSD. LSD also comes under the Schedule 1 drug. And this drug is nothing but the lysergic acid diethylamine. And these drugs can be obtained from the fungus ergot. There is one scientist, Hoffman. That scientist have invented that drug in 1938. And he come to know that this drug is producing this hallucination effect in 1943, and from that the drugs was used as a recreational drug. It can be used for the well-being, it can be used for the false belief hallucinogen, it can be used for to keep your mind calm. And these drugs were become very common, and people was using these drugs frequently. And they are also having lots of side effects on our body, but still these drugs were utilized, and that's why the drugs has been banned. After that, there is schedule 2 drug. As we have mentioned in point 4, the schedule 2 drug also not allowed, because these drugs are also habit forming. These drugs are also producing psychological dependence as well as physical dependence. But they are less dangerous than schedule 1 drug. But still, these drugs we cannot prescribe directly. These drugs may contain the methadone, the drugs oxycodone, the drugs like amphetamine. They are the stimulants, the drugs like methamphetamine. Like these drugs, they can comes under the second category. These are also dangerous drugs. After that, schedule 3 drug. Now here we will see this point first, after that we will discuss schedule 3 drug. Controlled substances in Schedule 3 or 4 may not be dispensed at a written or oral prescription in conformity. Unless until you didn't done conformity, you cannot give the drug to the patients, either written or oral prescriptions. So very you have to very particular about these drugs, because these are also habit forming drugs. These are somewhat, if you see the schedule 3 drug, they are psychological dependence, or they are also physical dependence producing drugs. As compared to schedule 3, the schedule 4 drugs are more safer. They are producing less physical dependence, but they can produce the psychological dependence. After that, there is Schedule 5 drug. They are more safer than all these first four categories. Now you will see the examples of Schedule 3 drugs. Schedule 3 drugs contains the example like ketamine. They also produce. They are also examples of Vicodin. What is Vicodin? Vicodin is nothing but the combination of hydro hydrocodone and the acetaminophen, means paracetamol. So in that, hydrocodone contains near about 15 microgram. That 15 microgram is sufficient to produce its action. It is highly painkiller drug, that vinocodone. If you will give this drug, definitely it will release all the pain. And another drug is ketamine. Ketamine is also used to decrease the pain. It is also used as a general anesthetics. The drugs can affect on your CNS. They can reduce your memory. Complete memory loss will occur. They will also produce somewhat restlessness, and there is high success of sedation. Sedation will be to develop. Drowsiness, delirium can be developed by this ketamine. Ketamine also one of the drug. It can be produced as a recreational drug or habit forming drug, and these drugs are produced for the patient keep and quiet. So to have calm effect, this ketamine will also induce, and due to which it also become very habit, and lots of people so are using that drug as a habit forming drug. It comes in category 3. In category 3 also there are some drugs which I need to mention here. The drugs like the the drugs which we are using for muscle development, they are nothing but the anabolic steroids. So these anabolic steroids are the drugs which specially working on your muscle. So they will develop our muscles. The wrestlers, the people who are working in gym, they have to develop their body. The various athletes, they have to increase your stamina, increase their bulkiness of their muscle, their body structure. For developing or to tone or to shape your muscle, these anabolic steroids need to be taken. There are various steroids, various analogs of these steroids can be taken. Out of them, one very mostly common drugs like depot testosterone. The deposition is there. So depot can be entrapped into your muscle directly. Injections can be taken into your muscle, intramuscular muscle of the testosterone, and it will increase. They will give shape to your muscles. They will enlarge your muscle. Like these drugs are also, these are also comes under the category of Schedule 3 drug. After that, Schedule 4 drug. These drugs are more safer than these Schedule 3 drugs. Schedule 4 drugs mostly contain the tramadol. This tramadol is the drug which can be obtained from the this opium category. They are also one of the painkiller drugs. The another drug like that, this opium is there. After that, codeine is there. In that fourth category, again the drugs like oxycodone. After that, the drugs like alprazolam. Fourth category also contains the drug like all the azepines drugs, clonazepam. After that, natrazepam. So these are the drugs which are comes under the category of Schedule 4 drugs. The Schedule 4 drugs are also somewhat safer than Schedule 3 drug. But again, same problem is there. The tramadol drug, as it is painkiller, it is also one of the good painkiller. And it nowadays it is also given in lots of cases when we are having the accident or we are having the surgery, which we have to decrease your pain, you have to decrease your sensation towards your brain for the typical pain or whatever neurological pain is going to be developed into your body. So for counterbalance all these things, we are taking these drugs. But obviously, if you take that drug, they will develop the physical dependence if you take for longer period. And lastly, if you see the Schedule 5 drugs, they are more safer drugs, and you should take that drug only under the supervision of doctors. As I have mentioned one example in last lecture also, the codeine containing syrup. Normally, in case of Schedule 4, you are taking the codeine up to 90 microgram. When you are taking that more than 90 micro, up to 200 micro. So it can be used into the codeine syrup. Corex was the brand, and it was used for lots of people only for their well-being, only for calmness, because it contains codeine. As we know, it is a opium. It will produce the calmness effects. So like that drug is there. Also, the pregabalin drug is also there, which can be utilized for your as a painkiller drugs. So these are the various drugs which can be used from the various schedules according to your use. How much, what is your use actually? Accordingly, we should go for those drugs. Now, information on daily control drugs. So, whatever drugs we are taking for daily, especially these control drugs, if you are taking on daily basis, what need you should be maintain, what administration should you need to be fill, what information you need to be keep, it can be mentioned here. The full information required on daily control drug administration sheet is as follows. So it must contain date on which date you are taking this drug, amount given, specific amount in microgram or in milligram. After that, patient's full name, patient's hospital number if he is having specific number. After that, doctor who is prescribing that specific drug. Signature of nurse administration. As soon as nurse has been administered that drug, she must sign there. Frequency and route of administration means 2 times a day or 3 times a day or daily. And what is the route? It is intravenous, it is intranasal, oral, whatever route is there, you need to be mentioned here. This is the chart you should information you should fill in this format. It is a daily control drug administration form. So this form need to be filled daily. Should keep that record whenever you are giving that drug to the patients. Again, on the top is Vignan Hospital Pharmacy, whatever name of your pharmacy is there. After that, date, ward number, floor, which floor you are staying. Daily control drug administration form. It contains first patient name, specific description of the drug, name of the drug, it is morphine, codeine, methadone. After that, if it is with codeine, if it is tramadol, if it is pegnaline, whatever drug you are using, you should mention here number of tablets, or if it is syrup, how much ml, how much bottles you want, strength use, how much strength you are used. After that, order by doctor, doctor's name, who have prescribed these drugs, under whose supervision patient is taking this drug, and the name and sign of this nursing staff. So in this fashion, you need to fulfill this format daily, and you must keep the record. Whenever the inspection committee will reach to your hospital, you must maintain this record. It can be asked by the that authorities. Now, most commonly abused drugs. These are the list of those drugs. Some drugs we have discussed in last slides, and some drugs we'll discuss today. Only you must know what are the drugs are there in this category of controlled drugs. In that, relievers, mostly in pharmaceuticals, in hospitals, we are using these drugs as a pain relievers, because in case of accident, in case of any vital surgery, vital organ surgery, lots of pain is there, lots of nerve pain is also there. So to control all this pain, to decrease the perception of that pain towards your brain, we must take these drugs. So drugs like oxycodone, it is one of the common drug. We control oxycontin. After that, hydrocodone. Next is codeine, morphine. These are the various drugs which can be used as a pain relievers. Now, central nervous system depressants. There are also certain depressant drugs like sedatives, tranquilizers, and hypnotics. Drugs like barbiturates. Barbiturates are very dangerous drugs like Mebaral, Nimbutal. These are the trade names, and benzodiazepines. These drugs are used for treatment of your treatment of when you are having problem in sleep, or you are having problem into your psychosis. So to make you calm, to make you sedation, or to produce the calmness as a tranquilizer, we are inducing these drugs like benzodiazepines. These drugs are working on your benzodiazepine receptors, GABA receptors, and that's why these drugs are producing their actions. The drugs like LSD or lactic acid, dimethylamine, they are producing their effects on these effect on your specific serotonin receptor. And the drugs like depressants, they are producing actions on your dopamine receptors, and also on adrenergic receptors, also 5 receptors. Now stimulants used to treat attention deficit disorder in case of narcolepsy. First of all, what is narcolepsy? It is nothing but the when the sleep can be induced at daytime. It is a sleeping attack occurs at daytime. It is nothing but the narcolepsy without any cause. If you are taken the high quantity of lunch, and if you are having some sedation, it is different thing. It occurs due to food. But narcolepsy is different. It can occur at any time, at any point, without any cause. It is called narcolepsy. And also in case of weight loss. So these are the conditions for which you had to take these drug stimulants. Nowadays, the psychological stimulants also we need in daily basis. For example, tea, coffee, we are using that to induce the stimulation into our brain psychologically, also in respiratory system. And dextroamphetamine, it also one of the drug. It is analog of amphetamine, and it is modified drug, and it can be used as a stimulant. And methyl phenidate, it is one of the drug. It can be used as a stimulant drugs. They will produce the uh, stimulation, they produce the euphoria, they will produce the energetic perception into your body. So these drugs are nothing but the stimulants. In this fashion, we have discussed this most commonly habit forming or addiction forming drugs. They are abuse drugs. Now, control prescription drugs dispensed in India. So the various studies has been done on this, that what is the trend to taken these drugs for patients. So here opioids and senior depressions, if you will see, their graph has been declined. But in case of stimulant drugs, the graph has been inclined. So means as the day progresses, there is more demand of these stimulants as compared with the opioids, antidepressant, and other drugs. So in this fashion, we have discussed these controlled substances today. I hope you understood the whole concepts. I think it is sufficient for today. In next lecture, we will discuss the next topic. If you have any issue regarding understanding regarding any drug, you can ask me at any time. So thanks a lot for listening me very carefully. Have a great day.